This is Akashwani. Time for a weekly program, Our Guest. I hand over the mic to the show host, Nitish Arora, for the same.
In our guest program today, I am very happy to have Dr. Sumita Das, Assistant Director, National Archives, as our guest today. Dr. Sumita, welcome to the program. Archives, National Archives. What is an archive for the public, if anybody wants to know and have an access to? What is a National Archives? What is the significance of this?
Archives is, to explain very simply, it is the birth certificate of your parents kept in your house. After 50 years, they have passed away. Then your educational certificates, then your wife's certificates. If they are all kept together in one place, when your grandchildren will come, these documents are archival documents for them. This is a very simple way of understanding. Likewise, in National Archives of India, we are housing records from 1748.
1748.
It was started in the year 1891 and it was called as Imperial Record Office, which was situated in Kolkata. When the capital of our country from Kolkata to Delhi, it got shifted, then they planned to shift the Imperial Record Office. We got our own place. Here at present, where the National Archives of India is situated in the Janpath Road, this main building was completed the construction in 1926 and they shifted. By 1927, the entire Imperial Record Office got shifted. Since then, the National Archives of India, at that time also it was called Imperial Record Office. After 1947, this Imperial Record Office was renamed as National Archives of India. Since then, we are having the records that was transferred by the British to our country. Subsequently, in the year 1993, we have got our own act, Public Record Act. Subsequently, in 1997, the rules was also passed. Under this 1993 Act, the Government of India, central government body, needs to transfer all their B category classified records to our department periodically, so that we can have all these series in sequence to trace out the history that are existing or happening in our country. These records are generally referred back by our government departments for the future decision making. These records play the role of precedent cases also. Then these records are handled by many agencies like NGOs or any other interested researchers who would like to use these records for their own research purpose. Even the individuals also try to locate their grandparents' name in the World War I. If they find that they have their family members participating in the World War I, they try to locate. Some names are there and many of the records that give some light to who and all have taken part in the World War I. Our National Archives of India houses many important other records also apart from the public record, like the private collections is also there. We have Ramanujam papers, that is the personal collections of the great mathematician Ramanujam. His employment in the Post Trust, the recommendation letter that has been sent to the Post Trust to get him recruited. Such interesting documents are also available. Likewise, I can name a few. Lala Lajpat Rai's diary is available. Nizam of Hyderabad papers are available. Trial proceedings of Sahid Mangal Pandey is available. Even the passport of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, eminent leader, is available. Then diary of Shahid Bhagat Singh is available along with the ashes in a kalash is also available
Diary
with us.
of Shahid Bhagat Singh, the prison diary that he was writing.
Yes, the prison diary. The original diary, we were able to get it microfilmed in the residence of S.B. Singh, nephew of the Shahid Bhagat Singh ji. Then Rakesh Sharma, our first Indo-Soviet space flight. The file about him is also available in our office. Most interesting, and everybody will be interested in knowing, the Gandhi murder trial papers are available. This contains the FIR related to the Mahatma Gandhi after his death. Gandhi as a student, his mark sheet, 10th standard mark sheet you can see. Gandhi's horoscope written by Shankar Das Joshi, that is also available with us. Then the census slip of Rajendra Prasad, that is received from the A. Mitra Registrar General of Ex Officio Census Commissioner India is available. Another important thing I would like to tell is it's a diary of Janaki Nath Bose. Who is he? He is the father of Subhash Chandra
Subhash.
Bose. He has recorded in his own diary the birth time and how his wife has taken the pain of delivering the child. In his own handwriting, he has mentioned it. There is one important manuscript that I would like to mention about is the Gilgit manuscript.
The Gilgit manuscript.
Yes, it is the manuscript that was found in the Naupur village, which is 2 miles closer to Gilgit cantonment. It was first mentioned in the Statesman newspaper in 1931. This is the Buddhist canon, that is, all the writings of the Buddhist are mentioned here. Sir Aurel Stein, he was an archaeologist. He was the first person who had reported about it in 1931. This Buddhist canon consists of Samriddhi Raja Sutra and Sadharma Pundarikaksha Sutra. They are mentioned in Sanskrit, otherwise called as the Lotus Sutra.
So, how old is this Gilgit manuscript?
Recently, we have done the carbon dating. It has come out that it is of 727 AD.
727 AD,
AD.
that old document you are
Yes.
having. I understand that most of these documents are digitized now.
Yes, most of. Now we are going on the digitization drive. We have an online portal called Abhilekh Patal.
Abhilekh Patal.
Abhilekh Patal.
Okay.
Anybody can get yourself logged in the Abhilekh Patal. Only your valid mobile number and email ID. And if you are an Indian citizen, you have to mention your Aadhaar card number or your passport number while getting registered online.
Which means overseas people
Or when
can
they will
also
use, yes,
they can also
anybody.
use it.
At present, this has been accessed by 260 countries.
260 countries
Yes,
are
as per.
accessing this Abhilekh Patal.
Yes, at present.
And what all is there in this Abhilekh Patal?
Abhilekh Patal is an online portal which started in 2015.
2015, okay.
Slowly we started uploading our digitized document. These digitized documents are basically all the public records, the private records, the oriental records, all are slowly stage by stage uploaded. At present, 10 crore pages and above have been uploaded.
10 crore pages already. And the original form also they are available with the National Archives.
Yes. We are having every document that we have scanned and they are conserved and preserved and kept.
Do we have that much space in the building?
Yes,
And because
yes.
every day lots and lots of more material is reaching.
We are expecting every year at least 2 lakh
pages.
pages, at least minimum, which we receive and sometimes we receive more also. So it's based on which and when ministry gives us. Apart from that, we are in the process of collecting the president papers.
Okay.
Those who have been our presidents, we are collecting the president papers, Bharat Natna awardee dignitaries papers. Likewise, we are collecting these.
You just
eminent
mentioned
people.
about the private collections. How does this private collections reach you? I mean, is there like some family wants to shift their documents to National Archives and they hand it over to you? Is it like that?
Sometimes this also is the case, but most of the times we approach the eminent people.
Like the Ramonism
Paper, yeah,
papers,
this
you
was-
approach the family.
Yeah. That was given by the Port Trust also. Port Trust, they themselves handed over that document. We prepare a proper planned agenda of approaching. As at present, we are approaching all the ex-presidents of our country. We are approaching their family. So we would like to have their records in our archives because these are all most valuable documents for its historical references.
So many universities and colleges, they are also pretty old and lots of their alumni, they must be having their papers, their degrees in these colleges. They have their local archives, but are they keeping it well, their records? Delhi University is also almost a century old.
Yes.
So such institutions also sometimes approach you or you approach them?
At present, we have not approached, but Delhi University, we generally use their resource person, that is like the Persian department. The department head, dean, and other students, we engage them for deciphering or translation work of the Persian records that we have. As for the archiving of their own records, Till now, as far my knowledge goes, they have not approached us. It's a vice versa. We have also not approached. It's a good idea that you have given us. We can also venture out and seek
So
their.
whenever you're doing this, give credit to radio
Yes,
and to this
yes,
program.
definitely, definitely.
You said that we have this Abhilekh Patal where most of the people who are interested in knowing what exactly is there in National Archives. But else, if somebody wants to visit National Archives, is it open for public? And what all is there for if somebody like a layman comes there and he really wants to have a look at the history and past of India? Is it as good as a museum, or he has to approach it in a different way? He or she has to approach it in a different way.
Only basic thing, and every individual has to think when they are considering National Archives, they have to think about the paper documents. Main focus is paper documents. It is the written documents where the important decisions takes place. Photograph is very eminent, very important, but we have very less photo collection. Our major focus is on the paper documents.
Which includes newspapers also?
We do have newspaper, but not much to mention about.
So the paper is most of them the official documents.
Official documents. It's a public record. So we are categorizing to the public record. Even if you take the private archives holds all the letter documents, the correspondence that has taken place between Gandhi or any other eminent personality during his time, or Rajendra Prasad papers or Lala Lajpat Rai papers. They are all their own handwritten papers that they have received and sent. So these again are paper documents. Basically, we are focused on paper. But if the public wants to come to our office, they are most welcome. At present, we earlier used to have a permanent museum highlighting all the main historical documents, not only the eminent personalities, about the medicinal documents, the flora, fauna, and the other
Even the maps also.
Cartography maps also. All those things were in display. At present, since digitization work is going on in huge scale, our museum has also been used for conservation purpose. So we are planning for a common area where any common man can come down and see what is archives and how the archives is functioning. We are slowly developing such a setup. Otherwise, if any individual wants to come to National Archives, they are most welcome. They have to carry only their ID and ask the reception office to visit the research room. Research room is a place where we give access to the Abhilekh Patal. We teach them what they want to see. There are other indexes also kept in the research room. If they want to see the indexes, they can physically sit there and enjoy the East India type luxury. If you see our website, it will show you the picture. It is really a beautiful research room where every individual who is very much interested in reading historical documents must visit the place. They can enjoy their reading down there. And if they want to see the historical documents, on giving request, those documents will be provided in digital format so that they can see it in digital form.
Not in the original format.
Not in the original form.
So friends, I think I have tried to dig out some information for you from Dr. Sumita Das, Assistant Director, National Archives. As a layman, I have asked most of the questions that must be in your mind also. What exactly is National Archives? And it is very interesting that they've got such a huge volume of records with them. Yes, you can visit the Abhilekh Patal. You can also go to the research room. The protocol is very simple. You must have an identity card of yours.
Identity card.
That's it. So it's not a very cumbersome process.
No.
No questions are asked. And it is open 10 to 5.
Yes.
So anything more that you want to add, Dr. Sumita, because we are running short of time. In our archives, we have only 15 minutes of time. So
Actually, we house, at present tentatively, we have 34 crore pages.
34 crore
And
of
in
pages.
future, this will be the first archives who will be going to become digitized 100%.
So 34 crores of pages with the National Archives, and you can take your lifetime actually to, if you really want to have a look at all of them. But whatever is to your interest, you can definitely visit. Vacations are coming around. There are a lot of times when the younger mind, you want to engage them somewhere. National Archives is one place where you can go, and Abhilekh Patal is one which you can introduce them to, rather than introducing them to all the social media that is available. Dr. Sumita Das, from your busy schedule, you saved some time to be here and enlighten us, my listeners. Thank you so much for being my guest.
You were listening to the weekly program Our Guest that is broadcast every Monday at 9:15 a.m. Don't forget to tune in next week, same day, same time and same frequency for more on Our Guest.